Hi, welcome back. And I know I'm late, but I will be ranking all superhero movies of 2022. So some were amazing and some were just outright terrible. So I don't want to waste your time, so let's just get into it. Yo, what's up? This is Liam, aka Lazy Boy, aka your favorite person, aka Emo Adams, aka rest in peace, aka. So in total there were 8 superhero movies, 4 Marvel, 3 DC and 1 outside Marvel and DC, which you might find surprising, but I consider it a superhero movie. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, at number 8 we have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Oh no, I can't believe he put it at the lowest. That movie was amazing. No, it wasn't. I'm gonna be brutally honest. This movie was hyped up so much and it was a flop.
This is garbage. It's beautiful.
It was the worst MCU movie of the year.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
And that says a lot because Thor, if you disagree, I don't care. If you think this movie's good, something's wrong with you. For one thing, this movie is very exploitative on using Chadwick Boseman's death. Don't get me wrong, it was good in the beginning, they did it perfectly. This movie started really well and it gave me hope that this movie would be good. And the movie does tackle themes of grief and loss and they do it very well in the beginning. But as you keep watching, it just becomes too sentimental. It was more of a forced emotion than a natural one. It's like holding a gun to your head telling you to feel the pain that they are feeling. Like they're forcing you to feel what they feel. I don't want a forced feeling, I want a natural flow. It's just too much. It was too much. It was too focused on it being a tribute than like being a good movie, having a good storyline with a good plot and a good compelling story and a good continuation to the franchise, because the first one was done really well. But there was no story. The plot was useless. I mean, it was also tended to be rushed and very slow at the same time. Like I desperately wanted this movie to end and I was so glad when it did. Finally! There were very unnecessary characters like Everett Ross and Valentina or Christine, which is played by Martin Freeman and Julia Louis-Dreyfus or Old Christine. There's also a lack of good male characters in the movie like M'Baku, which is like totally wasted and castrated. Like he's just pushed aside and just expected to be funny and make jokes in the entire movie. And I didn't laugh at all, I'm sorry. And M'Baku is the only character with common sense when it comes to Namor or Neymar. Action scenes are very bad, no good fight scenes, very useless plot, everything like I feel like CGI was very bad. I mean, it's been bad for a while now. I mean, the MCU, yeah. And like everything, like the action is very forgettable. Yeah, CGI was very bad. For example, Talokan was very dark and I couldn't really see much of the ocean, like how the place really looked. Like you look in comparison to Atlantis on Aquaman, it's very bright and you see clearly, it's very clear what you see, and Talokan is just so dark, I can't see anything. The Iron Heart suit was very bad. It looked terrible, which brings me to Riri Williams, which was a very unnecessary character. They just put her in the movie just for the Ironheart series. She's just another Shuri and a very forgettable character. I mean, you could just put her out of the movie and the movie wouldn't be nothing wrong. It wouldn't be that make much of a difference. I mean, the movie would be much shorter, which would have been nice. And we don't even know where she got the Stark tech from. Like, what?
What?
The Queen's death wasn't really that big of a deal. Quite similar to Aunt May in No Way Home. This is my opinion. I think but my opinion is factual, by the way. Shuri is definitely not worthy of being the Black Panther. She only becomes the Black Panther in like the last 10 minutes of the movie, and it's crazy how she like fights so good and fights like, I don't know, like she's so, I don't know. And there really is a lack of a character arc or character development in Shuri. Like she's definitely not worthy. And if I'm being honest, recasting T'Challa wouldn't have been so bad. And the acting is very, very poor, very bad, like very over exaggerated emotions. Like the only good actors were Letitia Wright, Lupita, Denai Gurira, and Tanako Huerta as Neymar. I do like Neymar as a villain. His backstory was really interesting, but I was expecting him to be more of a chaotic villain, to cause more chaos and havoc for the Wakandans. Like I was expecting much more like strength and chaos from him, but still a very good character. And yeah, only good thing from the movie was the credit scene and Neymar.
What the hell?
At number 7 we have Thor, Love and Thunder. Now this movie could have been better, but overall it was just a disappointment. They were focusing on Thor's character arc and introducing Jane Foster into the movie, which was done really well in the beginning, but that is overshadowed by just too many forced jokes. Like for example, the annoying giant shouting goats. Deep emotional scenes are just taken away by jokes, and I feel like after Endgame, Thor has just been depicted as a joke and this comedic figure. This movie was just a joke. It was a joke fest, and it makes you forget about the plot. But I must say some of the CGI were bad and some were also not bad. The action is not so bad at all. One good thing from this movie was Christian Bale as Gore. He was a really, really good villain, but I feel like he was really wasted as a character, but I blame that on the movie. Like the plot, the way they used him in the movie was really wasted. But at the same time, he still delivered a great performance as an antagonist, and he becomes very likable and in the end of the movie, and becomes more sympathized as a character. And you see that towards the end of the movie, and you see his perspective, and there is a lot of character development in Gore than Thor in this movie, which is quite disrespectful seeing that it is a Thor movie. But overall, anyway, it's just a really mediocre movie, mainly because of the jokes. So yeah, very mediocre. Just seen as worse because of too many forced jokes.
What did he say?
At number 6 we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now there is not much into this movie. The first one was amazing, and it's a good thing they made Sonic look more accurate as the cartoon or the video game. But for a sequel, it wasn't that bad. Now I know what you're thinking, this isn't a superhero movie, but there are a lot of superhero qualities in this movie, even in this whole franchise if they continue it. And this is a very enjoyable movie. If you watch the first movie, you can clearly see there is a character arc in Sonic, and he becomes more of this superhero figure in the movie. There's also some good introductions to other characters like Tails and Knuckles, which is voiced by Idris Elba, which was a great voice performance, and there is a good interaction between each character. The CGI was good, better than most MCU movies. Action sequencing was good. Jim Carrey was good. I mean, it's Jim Carrey, but there's not that much comedy or jokes in this movie. He's not as funny as he was in the first one. But I must say this movie is slightly forgettable, but it is a children's movie, so that is the target audience. But even for me, it's a very enjoyable movie to watch. Heading into our top 5, at number 5 we have DC's League of Super Pets. Now I wasn't looking too much into this movie, and surprisingly it was actually good. It's not a wow movie, it's not bad. It's cool. It's cool how they used animal characters, and it's nothing new because there has been many movies that used animals as characters, many animated movies. But it's cool how they used animal characters and still kept the importance and existence of the human superheroes, and there is still an established presence. What stood out for me was the hidden Marvel jokes they put in the movie. Like, there were a lot of hidden Marvel jokes and Marvel references. Like, I caught some of them. I mean, I caught many of them. Like, I got that one.
I understood that reference.
Like, I caught myself laughing and catching most of the references. So that was very well executed. It is a cool kids movie, seeing that is mainly the target audience, but it's still a very enjoyable movie to watch. The Rock and Kevin Hart are very good, like on screen, and they have very good on-screen chemistry together, even though they are voicing animated characters. But there is still some good humor. So it's not that deep of a movie, it's nothing deep. It's just a good movie to enjoy and some good humor on the side.
Bruh.
At number 4 we have Morbius. Now, I don't understand why this movie gets talked about so badly, why it's trashed so much. I don't understand why people consider this a disappointment. I'm sorry, I don't see it. It's a good movie. Jared Leto is not that bad as Michael Morbius. This is just a simple, good action movie. And it might not be the best or the best superhero movie or action movie ever, but it's not the worst Marvel movie or the worst Marvel movie in 2022. Some of the visuals might not be perfect. I mean, it looks very 2000-esque visuals. At the same time, there are good visual scenes, like especially when Morbius like learns to fly in the subway, and even in the ending with the bats. Like, it reminds me of Batman in a way, but it's still a very good visual. The only flaw I can pick out of this movie was the editing was not really done well. Like, wasn't really cut or edited properly. It was done last minute. I can see that's probably why they delayed the movie. Milo was very useless, not really that impactful as a villain, but there is a good brotherly like relationship between Michael and Milo. Like, even there's a deep moment. Like, it's really in the middle. It's not too much, it's not too deep, it's not too shallow, it's just right. There is a good emotional moment between Milo and Michael when he kills Milo, and like there is a special moment because they have grew up and known each other, like they like brothers, they friends for a long time. But it was a really good performance from Milo in that ending. I liked it, thought it was good. Not the best Marvel movie, but still a good one. Before we get into our top 3, please let me know your ranking in the comments below. Like, if you disagree with mine, that's fine. Just let me know in the comments, and let me know if you want more videos like this. So let's get straight into it.
What?
Heading into our top 3, at number 3 we have Black Adam. Now, I was hoping for this movie to be good, and it delivered. The Rock really wanted this movie to work, and this movie has been 15 years in the making. And this is just like any Rock Dwayne Johnson movie, just good action. It's expected to be good, not because of performance, but just some good action. It's a usual Rock blockbuster movie. I really enjoyed it. A really good blockbuster movie, like with some good laughs here and there. It starts with a good backstory. It shows Black Adam's land of Kahndaq. It shows the history of Kahndaq, which is where Black Adam grew up. There are very good side characters like the Justice Society of America or the JSA, like Aldous Hodge as Hawkman and Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, as well as Atom Smasher and Cyclone. There's also some good on-screen chemistry between characters like Hawkman and Black Adam, seeing as they are very hateful of each other in the beginning because they have different opinions and they always clash against each other. So it's like a very nice hate relationship, like a beef. So that was exciting. The Rock's performance as Black Adam wasn't actually that bad, considering he's not the best actor. He plays the same character in every movie. He's always in a jungle. The action scenes are really good. The CGI was very good, very visually pleasing, and a good surprise at the mid-credit scene. But I mean, it's useless now because the DCEU, I don't know what's going on there. One con in this movie is the villain. I mean, I don't even remember the villain's name. He's very unnecessary and very forgettable in this movie, and it did not leave that much of an impact in the movie. And also, Dr. Fate dying was upsetting. Nevertheless, still a good movie. The Rock got his results. It got very good feedback. It's not the best superhero movie, but still entertaining to enjoy. At number 2, we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now this was so good to watch in the cinema, a great experience. And let me remind you, this is a totally different movie from the first one. A totally different touch to it, and definitely the third best MCU movie in Phase 4. Behind Shang-Chi, and definitely number 1 is Spider-Man No Way Home. But the movie was so good and so different, very Sam Raimi-esque. If you don't know who Sam Raimi is, he directed the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. And with Doctor Strange, Raimi really made this movie work. I mean, he's very familiar with a thriller, horror vibe to his movie, and he delivered that in Multiverse of Madness. This was a great thriller vibe movie, a great suspense builder with a lot of thriller horror vibes, like very moods like similar to that in the movie. I got the fright in certain scenes, so a very nice thriller touch to it. There are very good visuals in the movie, like better than most MCU movies. A lot of color, more color than most recent MCU movies. The antagonist, being the Scarlet Witch, was very good and very well executed. There was really a lot more character development and character arc into Wanda, and we got an origin of who the Scarlet Witch really is. She really played the villain, and we got to see her true power, like how strong she actually is. Like, she was more powerful than she was in recent MCU movies. There's also good action sequencing done in the movie, especially when the scene where they jump universes. America Chavez was okay. She's not that much of a unforgettable character. She's very forgettable, but she was okay, not that bad. They do a good job with Doctor Strange and his character development and character arc, also with Scarlet Witch, where you kind of sympathize with Scarlet for what she has been through, you know, losing vision and like children. But even though she has made all of this up, it's still real to her, so you kind of see her and sympathize with her towards the end of the movie, because she has gone through a lot, especially after the happenings of Endgame. And Elizabeth Olsen delivered a great performance. She delivers an amazing performance, and also very underrated cinematography. Very good use of camera work and framing. So a very amazing movie. Would have been the best if it wasn't for our number 1.
Finally!
Number 1, we have The Batman. Lord, this movie, guys. Nah. When I first heard Pattinson was gonna be playing the Batman, I was uninterested. And then when I saw the first trailer, I was still not interested. Then I watched The Devil All the Time, and yeah, I was starting to get intrigued. And then I saw the second trailer of Batman, and I was like, no, I have to watch this movie, because Pattinson is an amazing actor. And I have to say, without a doubt, Robert Pattinson is the best Batman on screen. Pattinson delivered. It was an amazing movie. It was dark, it was just... I'm speechless. This movie made you escape into this dark world of dirt and suspense and danger. It was like the perfect cinematic masterpiece. And the dark city of Gotham was really accurate. Like Matt Reeves really did a good job delivering a very accurate dark Gotham City. The suit looked absolutely impeccable. This was a very good, amazing detective story similar to The Long Halloween, if anyone is familiar with that. I haven't read the comics, but I've seen the animated movie and yeah, I was impressed. But everything is shot perfectly. Like the cinematography is amazing, the camera work was amazing, everything was shot and framed very well, very perfectly. And it's a crime this is not nominated for an Oscar for cinematography. Like, you guys, are you stupid just because it's a superhero movie? No man, with the movie being 2 hours long, it's still a well-paced movie, and I was intrigued, I was synced in, I was focused on this movie. And this movie has an amazing score, amazing music, so infectious and memorable. Michael Giacchino did a great job, and let me remind you, this is the same composer for Spider-Man No Way Home. What stood out for me were the metaphors, you can call it metaphors, or the symbolism and the riddles in this movie. Like, the symbolism really stood out in certain scenes. It's also amazing action, really shot well, an amazing car scene which like is built up with so much suspense, like combined with the music. Like, it's a very good scene, very suspense builder. It created so much hype and it was well coordinated and well executed. Also very good plot, similar to Seven, where the Riddler plays the same character as Kevin Spacey's character in Seven, where he like targets the main character, the protagonist of Brad Pitt, which in this movie it's Batman obviously. So it's like really quite similar, but still a very good movie. It reminded me so much of Seven. Very, very suspenseful at the same time. The way the interaction, there's a scene where they interact with each other. There are great characters in the movie, like the Riddler, and amazing performances. Paul Dano as the Riddler and Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Really amazing performance. Like, the way they made Colin Farrell look as the Penguin, they did a great job with the makeup. This is the perfect Batman movie. Obviously after Dark Knight. Dark Knight is #1, but personally this one is my favorite Batman movie of all time. But I like how imperfect he is. Like, this is year 2 Batman, so he is imperfect. This isn't a Batman we know and love, so it's still in the beginning and there is room for improvement. He can become the Batman that we all are familiar with and that we know and love. Only problem in this movie is that there is no distinct difference between Batman and Bruce Wayne. He's very awkward and alienated from the rest of the world, but at the same time it's a good thing. I mean, it makes sense because he has become Batman. He's Batman majority of the time in majority of this movie, so it's hard for him to be Bruce and be normal, like in outside and in his social life. So Batman has consumed him and molded him into the symbol of hope and justice. So I guess it's understandable, or maybe it's just Matt Reeves' take on the character. I don't know. There is a difference between Christian Bale's Batman, definitely the best Bruce Wayne Christian Bale has, but I don't want to compare. So in conclusion, this is a cinematic masterpiece, the best Batman, second best Batman movie, amazing cinematography, amazing story, amazing from start to finish. And that's why it's #1 and the best superhero movie of 2022. And that's it for this video, guys. Just let me know what you think of this ranking, what you think of every movie. Comment your rankings down below. Let me know your thoughts on this movie. Let me know if you want more videos like this. Like and subscribe, share the video, spread the word, and thank you for watching.